Hi, it's Jez from Nigezza Creates. Thank you for joining me today. So I was looking on my phone, mainly because I was running out of storage, and I discovered 4 videos of me putting together these signatures, and it was 2 years old. So back in 2023, I started making a journal with Tracy Fox's Dispatch. And there is 2 videos in a playlist of me making clusters and long tags. But this video that you're about to see is me putting together the signatures. And I was going to make it a 3 signature journal. And I completed 1 signature and I had 2 undone. And I took them to the Rachel Bella Crafts retreat to finish off. And whilst I was there, I decided I didn't want to do 3. Discussed it with the lovely ladies at the table. Went, why don't you just do 1 signature journal? Because I'm not feeling it anymore, but I want it complete. So I had too much already prepared for just 1. So what I decided to do was take a few bits out of this one, and I've got 2. And I'm not going to do a 2 signature journal because I just think that's weird. Don't feel right. I have done them before. I think odd numbers best. So I'm going to do 2 separate journals. So I took some pages out of this one and created 2 separate journals. So, and obviously they need the cover, which will be in a separate video. So if you now watch from 2023, me putting these together, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what I've done, and then I'll make the cover in another video. Okay, today I'm going to start a new journal. Now I've got this kit here from Tracy Fox, Dispatch. I've had it a while, and it's all prepped to go, and it's been sat here for months. So I just thought I'd kind of show you sort of thing I do when I get a kit. So I think I literally printed off every page of this kit. So I printed it on 120 GSM presentation paper Navigator I use, and I've tea dyed the other side of it. So I put towels down on my kitchen table, and I get some tea, very strong tea, and with a paintbrush I paint it over, and they sit there until they're dry. Occasionally, like that, you get a little bit of bleed through from the other side, but I like that look. I think that adds to the junkiness of it, so I'm quite happy that that it does that on certain pages. And sometimes it will discolour what's on the other side. Again, I don't mind that. I've just discovered a new way. So this was in the summer. That's how long it's been sat there. But now it's winter time. I can't kind of leave it on the table in the summer because it would never dry. So what I do now is I paint it on. When it's kind of soaked in a bit, I then get my iron out and iron it. And that sort of works pretty well as well. Usually then when they're dry, I may iron them, or I'll just put them underneath, you're not really seeing this, sorry, underneath some heavy books to flatten them out. But as you can see, lots and lots of lovely pages, some going that way, some going a more traditional way. I have never made a long tall journal. There are enough sheets in here to do a long tall journal, so I may well do that. Haven't decided. So that's all the pages, oodles of them. And so you've got your long tall version, and then you've got foldy over. So that is that sheet shrunk down there to be a journal page that way. Or I could do a tall one that way, although it's probably too long for what I'd want, so I'd have to trim a bit off top and the bottom, but that's not a problem, Jez, is it? No, not really. So that's that bit. I then, all the bits that are sort of journaling cards or tags. I print them on 200 GSM presentation cardstock and tea dye the other side. So they're all ready to go. Do that in exactly the same way. So I've got little tags there. There you can see on that one where the colour has bled through to the other side and given a little green tinge. I like it. There, a little bit of a green there. I like it. The pockets here I've also done on 200 to give them a little bit more strength and stability. And what have we got there? Oh, that was a photo from a book, and I remembered it had a post office, and I thought, oh, I'll just bung it in with all the ephemera here. I thought that would go really well. And then we've got the smaller tags, and here we've got the larger tags. Again, all done. And these would have been, I possibly used my scan and cut to cut these out, or I might have done them by hand. I don't actually remember. But they're all there, ready to go. So this was well and truly prepped, ready to go. And then there's some papers that I haven't done. So these are, so again, 200 and tea dyed on the back, ready to be cut up. So these ones haven't yet been cut up. These are the covered paperclip slips. These are these little foldy over things, and here we have, oh, I must have cut things up by hand because that looks like I've cut that out, or it might be that the scan and cut didn't see these bits. Probably the case. These I decided to not do on my scan and cut. It was too many creams and it doesn't like it. So these are sort of ephemera bits which I shall cut out as and when I need them. Smaller pockets there, all ready to go. So not fully cut out, but you know, a lot cut out. Yeah, so that's ready. So I'm just going to put this back down in there. I got these, oh, who makes these? Can't remember. So anyway, thought they're quite useful for keeping things. So now I'm going to create my signatures. So I'm just looking. I'm going to do long tall Sally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that could be 10, 11. Right, so I've got 11 like that. These, I could do that one, 12. These are definitely Harveys. I mean, you know, ordinary. So I could make 2 journals actually. Oh, that was a misprint. So that could be a long, tall half page. I cut that off. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and a bit of a little one. So I think I've got more pages to a long, tall one. These could be cut in half and made smaller pages, or I could make another journal. So I'm just going to put those down out of the way. I'll put that one out of the way right now. And I am thinking that that is quite long. Something just banged there. I'm just trying to decide if I want to cut these down with a knife. So it might be easier to cut these down with a knife. might take a bit off that end because I quite like that at the bottom. So because if I'm going to make a cover for this, is that 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so that is 12 inches long. So I could use 12 by 12, but it don't give me much leeway there. So I'm thinking of cutting this down maybe to 11. Or should I do 10.5? Might be easier to work with 10.5. Yeah, I might do that. Then I'm going to lose quite a bit. If I'd have thought about this, I might have shrunk them slightly. Mind you, then you wouldn't have the width, would you? No, you wouldn't have had the width, Jez, so maybe not. So I am going to so 10.5 is there. Yeah, we'll just take that off. I've got a nice bit of scrap there. Just been watching Gail Agostinelli doing a altered book, cutting things down, getting excited about the interesting scrap she's got left, and it's like, yeah, I can kind of see that. So there we are, 10.5. Do you know, this is why I don't really like a blade. I might have to use a trimmer. So I don't like it. There we go. Cut that off. Cool. I maybe need. There you see. I need to change my blade. So that is absolutely rubbish cut in there, but hey ho. And then that will then be folded in half, which I'm absolutely rubbish at doing. Corner to corner, go in the middle, end to end. Really not great, but that's quite a nice size, I think, for a long tall journal. 10.5 by, I mean, for us it's just 4 1/8 because the paper shrinks a bit. So no, that's right, because it's 8 1/4, yeah, 4 1/8, whereas it'd be 4 1/4, wouldn't it, if you're in US letter size. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to cut all the rest down to 10.5, but I'm going to use my trimmer. That's just not for me at all. Does me. So I do find that can't do it. So I'm just going to go 10.5 here, much simpler. 10.5, cut it off, much simpler. And then because I've got my trimmer and I've got a butty up edge, I am going to be able to fold that really well. Sorted. Bob's your uncle. And I can see that one was really not cut at 10.5 at all. 10.5's there, so yeah, that one might get cut down to be a short page. So I will get all these done. You don't need to see me do this, and that is what I'm doing, going through, cutting them all down. So I'm going to get them all cut down, ready to go. they may be folded this way, they may be folded the other way, but it doesn't matter. You can change your mind afterwards and refold the other way. But I'm loving how that looks. Love, love, love. So I'm going to get them all sorted. So they're all cut down, and I've got some lovely, lovely scraps. And you might notice that I've got a scrap there that is bigger. That's because I had a momentary lapse of concentration, and I did cut one a bit shorter. And then I had that one that had misprinted, and I thought, well, I'll cut it to the same size as the one. I cut it at 9.5, not 10.5. And I thought I could put a pocket there to cover that bottom. So, and then the one that I cut originally, which didn't do right. So they're all the same size. So I thought each signature, if I'm going to do 3 signatures, could have a shorter one. And that sort of adds a bit of interest, having something a little bit shorter. So yeah, so I thought 3 signatures. I've got 4 of these. So one of these I won't put in. I'll use it for something else. So, and then there are 6 coloured ones. So I thought I'd choose one that's going to be like the outside of the signature, and then one that will be the centerpiece, is what I was thinking. So I really like the look of that, actually. Do I want that as a centre? See, this is where your decisions come. That's quite plain. So that might be better as a centre one. I've got a plain bit there. No, I was thinking these will be the 3 outsides. There we are, decision made very quickly. That will be an inside. I think that will make a really nice inside. So I mean, it doesn't matter how you fold them. And that will, oh, now I'm looking at that. I prefer that as an outside. Make that an inside. There we go. So that's the start of my 3 signatures. And then I want one of these and one of these in each. It may well be I'm going to end up with too much, but for now, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll stick one of these in. One of these in. And that one in. We'll leave the other one. That could be used for other things. Right, so those. And then they all want one of these as well. A shorty one. Putting absolutely no thought into this, which I find works. Oh, I don't want to put up. The only thought I'm putting in, yeah, that'll work. I didn't want to have this one in the same one as that one. No real rhyme or reason, just the way I was feeling it. So that's that. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and 8, 16. Okay, so then we want some coffee dyed, or tea dyed, and when we're saying coffee dyed, tea dyed paper. So I've got just picked out some tea dyed paper. That one was ripped at the bottom. It doesn't matter because we're cutting it down, so I thought that would work. So I've got some tea dyed paper. I got some tea dyed lined paper. So I thought a sheet of that each. And I've got some grid paper. And I thought it's postage themed. So I've got a stamp book that didn't have any stamps in. So I thought a sheet of this. So I just need to cut them down like so. I thought they would go in good. And I thought, well, we might have to have an envelope. So I've got these new envelopes. I might swap them out for some window envelopes. haven't quite decided. So I'm going to trim these down, and we'll see how it's looking. So in exactly the same way, I'm going to trim them down to 10.5 inches tall. So they're all cut down. I've got another nice little, that's too small, lot of scraps there that I'm gathering to use later. So the envelopes, I cut down, I made them 4 inches wide, and I just cut the top and the bottom off. I'll probably do something about this edge, but I'm not sure yet. So I've got 3 of them, got me tea dyed plain paper, got the stamp book, got the check graph, whatever, brain's gone, and the lined. So just thinking about how they would go in a signature. So I'm just going to take one of each. I'll do one with my thoughts on camera, and then I'll do all the rest. Oh, what I generally do is a kind of make the signatures all pretty much match. So I think that's what most people do. It makes life a lot easier. So might start with a bit of lined paper. I think that would look cool, because if it's correspondence, we write letters on lined paper. So I think that's quite a good one. We need stamps, so I might put a stamped page in there, and then maybe an envelope after the stamp, and then maybe coffee dyed. It's tea, Jez, it's tea. A little shorty one. Yeah, I might do that one there, and then that one there, but I want something in between those two. So maybe we'll pinch that for there. So doesn't seem too thick at this stage, but obviously it's got nothing stuck in. So that, bit of that, little shorty one, that, and that. That sort of works. I've got other things that I might pop in. I think that needs a little something popped in there. So I might put an envelope folded that way in there. But for the moment, that is looking cool. So I want an envelope that's no more than 8 inches wide if I want to shove an envelope in there. I was thinking some airmail envelopes, which I know I've got somewhere. Here we go again. That would be too long, won't it? I use one of them folded. Now I get these envelopes that, oh, that might work. So you get these sometimes, don't you, with your mail. Oh, it does stick out. It does stick out. So it needs to be shorter than that. So I'm going to find my airmail envelopes, which I originally wanted. I must have misremembered. I've got airmail writing paper, but not airmail envelopes. But this would be cool to put in, actually, and not very heavy. Must ask my sister, actually, because I remember when her husband used to go abroad, they used to have from the army free what they used to call blueies. So it was an all-in-one airmail envelope and letter, and you folded it up. Because I do remember writing to him. She says he's really bored, Jez. He'd even like a letter from you. So she might have a stash of them somewhere. So that would be quite an interesting little page to put in. I then found some interesting envelopes. These were from my friend Ivy from Germany, and I think that would be a nice envelope to put in. So I can't put it in that way because it'd be too long. So I'm going to open it up and have it as a page, and I might use this instead of the other envelopes. And then we want, I'm just going to use my big guillotine actually. Go down to 4, and then that just takes I do 4 1/4. I keep most of that. That's stupendous. I love it. Love it. I might not have that blue there. I think that's quite a nice thing to have greeting you. So I might move that elsewhere. That'd be quite nice, because what I might do is put a pocket with blue on there. And then these can go in the other 2 signatures. So I think we might be where I want to be. So obviously we've got no pockets, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That may or may not stay. 9, 10, 11, 12. Have I done it wrong now? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah. 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. That's 44 pages. And a signature. That might end up being quite a chunky monkey. Yeah, I might take that one out. We don't need it. I'll use it in something else. So that will give me 10 sheets, won't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That gives me 10 per signature, which is quite a good number. So that would be 40, 4, 8, 12. That'd be 120 in the whole thing. So yeah, quite happy with that. I may always add some little bits. I've got some checks that I might put in, receipts with stamps on, but they would only be wee things in here. I think it probably look nice in there. So I'm going to get the others ready and see how they're feeling. So that's how we got. So what my intention was I filled one signature, and then no, I didn't. I made one signature off camera, and then I was going to film another one. And yeah, I just lost. I don't know. Life happened. I mean, it was towards the end of 2023, and then when I finished it, and I think the last video was filmed in November of 2023, and then of course in February 2024. Life changed, and other priorities took place. So yeah, so this was the first signature I put together. I have added different things to it. I did quite a bit at the Rachel Bella Crafts retreat. Mainly I did this one, but these are lots that I did before. So I created some pockets, and then I didn't do much. I added a cluster on that. I think I did a video on making postal clusters, and so I just cut down. I must have printed that to a page, just cut them down, really, really simple. The designs on the paper were so nice, I didn't feel that it needed much else doing to them. Quite a simple pocket there. This was an envelope that you would have seen me put in. I just added some stenciling, and then on the inside a little simple pocket with one of my clusters and then one of the tags from the journal. There's some faux ephemera that I made, so it's not original. And then I made these little altered paper clips there, very cute. And then that's just yeah, printed double-sided there, these lovely designs, and that just formed a wraparound. Little bits of stamping here, there and everywhere to give it a postal theme. You're not going to be able to put that on now, Jez, are you? Oh, probably not, because you haven't got glasses on, so you can't actually see. There we go. Pop that in there. And then that's a genuine document from the post office from 1955. Love that. Just put a little cluster there on this shortened page. Created a pocket in it there with one of the little envelopes, and just bunged in a little postman. Put a bit of original ephemera around there. I love these pages. And then another pocket on the front, and then similar tags to the ones at the front. Bit of stenciling, bit of a cluster. That's the airmail paper. I just put a little bit of edging on that. Added a genuine bit of ephemera, 1948 envelope, and I just put in an old postcard there. That's Edinburgh Castle. Beautiful writing, look at that. And this is from 1940. So I have so many like postcards and envelopes. I thought this was the perfect journal to put them in. I just shoved a little top of an envelope there, a bit of stenciling. I folded that page over because it was much longer, and then I just put an old photograph in there. Another bit of genuine ephemera page here. This one isn't the post office, but you know, it's still nice. 1946. Added 3 pockets. These are from the kit, and then just some journaling cards in there. So it won't take them all out. They're just cut up from the kit and put on. Lovely centre page there, similar there. And then we go down the other side. That's one of my checks. Genuine check there. It's paper clipped in because it would have fallen down and it would have annoyed me. So there, we just added a little envelope there that I paper clipped in. And then in the envelope, I've got just a little tag. I'm not sure if this was, I think I just made this envelope with the envelope punch board. No, I didn't. Looking at it, I think I just made it myself. To pop round there and hold that tag in place. Pop that in there, and then it will actually go. Just a little cluster down there. Put a little tab on this. Again, as before, take you out. Same as before there. Same as before on the other side. Just wrap around again. Adds decoration to the page, and you've got a bit of journaling. Just simple clusters there. Another little wrap around on that page, and then we're at the back back cover there. So that was the one that I did off camera. I added a few bits to it. Now let's have a look. How many pages have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 pages. That is 28, 56. So that's a decent size journal. The other one is the one that I mostly did at the Rachel Bella Crafts retreat here. So I created a pocket there with some clustered envelopes. I just cut them up and then I used a book page to back it because it wasn't quite big enough. I've done a video on making these long tags. I added a wraparound here and I put a postcard there so she was peeping out. So on this side you got backwards. I had some strips that I just put on the edge of the page for decoration. Got another envelope there, similar to the other. This is another, I made a page out of book page and then just layered up some ephemera pieces there. Video on making the long tag as before. Got some genuine ephemera there. This is from 1947. Added some strips there. I just made, these were out of offcuts, and I just when I was trimming the page down, I just give you something nice to put on the edge. There I cut out that envelope from the kit, and I've added a little cluster there. I'm just looking there. That's a little bit annoying that I can see some glue that's oozed. I didn't take my glue rubber with me to the retreat. There we are. I'll leave that there in case there's any more. Our airmail, another wraparound there. This was a book page, and I folded it. I think I might have added this at the retreat. There is an old envelope from 1957, and there is a little letter in there as well. Nice little bit of genuine ephemera going on there. And yeah, almost illegible writing. I can't write that sort of script. Just can't write, can't read that sort of script. And then it's quite a thick book page, but I just put that sort of airmail thing on there to give it a little bit of added strength there. And to cover up the text, I just stuck down this bit of genuine ephemera. Got a little pocket there, which I just strengthened a little bit with a bit of old ledger and a bit of the ephemera. We've got, that's from a stamp album. I just quite liked chucking that in for a bit of journaling. Here's a nice old postcard. It's obviously been sold for 30p at some point. I may have paid 30p for it, I'm not sure. I think I got it in a job lot. And then that's just, these are some of my digitals, but I don't think I've put them out anywhere. And here I made a library card. And so we've got one of them long tags in the back. There, you could journal on that. And there's just some bits and bobs. That's from Tracy's kit. I just cut it out. And yeah, shoved it in. And then that's a bit of, does that open up? No, it doesn't. I literally printed both sides of the same envelope, and yeah, you could journal on the back of that. Just think it's nice. There's a smaller version, and then this is from Tracy's kit. Just fussy cut it out. Just a nice little piece in there. Looks nice, I think. There we've got the centre, and then going back here, that was from the kit. It's just all, I added these two bits, and I just thought that made a nice pocket there. Did the same with that pocket as I did on the other side. Another one of those little envelopey things I've got. And here is an envelope from 1947. There's nothing in it, so you can stick some goodies in there if you like. And then again, I just wanted to cover up this book page. What have I done there? Have I put that too far to the edge, Jez? That's better. Yeah, I just put a bit of collaging in there, stuck something on there. Here's an envelope I made from a book page, and then I've decorated it from the kit. Quite a sturdy envelope now, ready to put whatever you may want in, and then a bit of genuine ephemera from 1947. Stick that in there. And then I made, it's just clicked on there, from book pages, I made just a little bag. You can write on the back of there. And then this is a faux, well, it's not faux, it's a scan of an old letter that's been aged, so it looks genuine, but it isn't. It's a genuine scan. That's what it is. So I'll just fold that into there. Easier said than done. I used to fold my letters like this for my kids to take to school, so I didn't need an envelope. And now I'm all 6s and 7s trying to do it. There we are. Right. Put it back in there. Clip that on. Airmail again from the kit. It's one of the envelopes. Just thought they made really nice pockets. Made a tuck with that one and just put that tag in there. Just made a quick cluster with some stamping and a genuine stamp. Genuine stamp on top of a bit of ledger, I think just ripped from one of the pages from the kit. Another envelope, just put a little bit of collaging on it there. Nice long tag. This was again one of the bits of ephemera from the kit. Just folded it over like so. I can hear a lot of noise outside now. I'm like, what on earth's that? Okay, and then that's the other side of the envelope, just something from the kit, simple envelope on there. On the back I used top of a tag to make a little quick tuck, journaling card there, and another bit of that postage pad. So I just rounded the corners. That was just one of the envelopes in the kit. I just cut it down. These are all printed on 200 GSM card. Made another pocket there with a little cluster of stuff from the kit and my own stuff. So that is that. That is the journals. And so now they just need a cover. So that's my next job, is to make 2 covers. So I will do a video on making the covers for you. Okay, and I will then feel so much better that this is done, and I can put it to bed, and I can get all my postage stamps back out and into one place, because I've just left them in the box ready with it. Anyway, hope that was enjoyable, and I'll link down below to the Dispatch kit. There's also some Dispatch scraps, I think, which I have included in this as well, which I bought afterwards, because it complements it really well. Okay, see you all again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.